What's up, everyone? Welcome to this edition of Motorcycle Madhouse Radio. We're going to be talking about why I don't care about protocol today. Yes, I do not care about it. Okay. Why don't I care about protocol? Now, it's not what you think. Not what you think. I've been getting a lot of emails, a lot of freaking voicemails on the studio line, not to mention over on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook about why I don't do Motorcycle Club protocol videos or get into that subject. Now, admittedly, in the past I did, but we're more concentrating on the biker news aspect, keeping everybody in the loop on what's going on, even in the club scene. Yeah, we do a lot of that biker news, if you noticed. But this year we're getting into a lot of rally stuff, a lot of bike stuff. If you go over to hooliganbiker.com, you'll see nothing but motorcycles, and not just Harley Davidson, man. We're covering everything in the biker scene, everything from Harley to Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki's, the sport bikes, the whole 9 yards. So when people ask me, can you do some Motorcycle Club protocol videos? It's like, you know what? There is so many people out there talking about motorcycle clubs, giving their opinion on what protocol is supposed to be. Those are the channels to go look at. Because, you know, we want to broaden our horizon, if you will, and get back to what being a biker's all about, being a motorcycle enthusiast is all about. One thing about protocol, and a lot of these channels will not tell you this, but I'll tell you. Protocol on the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, South, it is all different. And I wish, you know what, some of these people that are out there talking about Motorcycle Club protocol will let you know this, because what works on the East Coast, West Coast, it won't work here in the freaking Midwest. It will not. You're going to get a dotted I. You're going to get yourself in trouble with some of the stuff these guys tell you to do. For example, East, West Coast, there's a dominant that they'll say, okay, come visit us and stuff. Next thing you know, they're wearing 1% diamonds. Okay, they're blessing 1% clubs. And that's something that would never happen here in Chicago. There's only one dominant. Everybody else, you got your support clubs, which are basically your 99%ers. Yeah, you wear your support patches here. That don't make you any less of a club to be a supporter club of a dominant. That's actually the true way everything happened. They're not handing out diamonds like other dominant clubs are around the country. So that's one of the biggest difference that you want to look at, especially when you're taking advice from people. And I think, you know, another thing that really got to me as far as Motorcycle Club protocol is, you know, dude over, and I ain't gonna even mention his channel. Everybody knows what I'm talking about when he's out there saying this and saying that. I guess he closed his channel down, which, hey, good, you know, good for you, because you're giving some real bad advice. But I sat back and thought, you know what, I wasn't taking my own advice when I said, hey, it's different all over the country. But I looked at this guy and said, man, somebody's gonna get freaking hurt looking at Motorcycle Club protocol videos. And I'm not trying to be a dick to everybody that does them, but the best way you're going to learn is to go out there and get into the club scene. Now, another thing I realized is when I first came up is totally different than what's going on now. Totally different. Well, like I said, well, they were actually doing it. Those dominants were handing out 1%er patches back in my time too, but it never again happened with certain dominants. It was that 1% patch actually meant something and you had to earn it. But I just started thinking, like, you know what? Somebody's going to get hurt. And if you're watching these videos, if you're watching or if you're listening to Motorcycle Madhouse or any other podcast, because everybody seems like they want to be a podcaster now, you got to consider the sources, and you got to consider that this is an entertainment program. These are opinions. And we all know what opinions mean. Everybody has one, you know what I'm talking about. So I think that's why I decided to go strictly biker news. Yeah, I do opinion op-eds and stuff like that on HarleyLiberty.com, HooliganBiker.com. You'll see me give some opinions during the biker news, because some of the stuff that some of these clubs do, or some of the other stuff that's in the news happens, yeah, I got an opinion just like everybody else. Some stuff that the clubs do is fucking, it's just plain dumb. You know, you got to call it out for what it is. I actually did an op-ed the other day, and it's on Insane Throttle, which is HarleyLiberty.com, where it talks about how motorcycle clubs sometimes bring the crap onto themselves. Now, I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, the government, the government. Well, you know, one thing about our platform is we're going to sit there and we're going to debate the issues, because nothing can get good without debating the issues. If you're going to be one of them people that, you know, suck on a schlong or a pecker of a club, then what's that doing good for motorcycle club profiling? It's not getting fixed. You can, and I've talked about this before, you can say whatever you want. Whatever you want about the government, the FBI, ATF, DEA, all that stuff. But when you're caught up, there's a 99.9% chance you ain't walking out of that courthouse, because that's, you know, I think their conviction rate is 97%. They don't play with you. And that's one of the things I never understood about clubs is, for one, you don't make any damn money in a club. You know, people ask, well, you know, you were this, you were that, why didn't you go? There was no money in it. You know, I believe, you know what, I worked for myself ever since I was a kid, and I believe in the dollar and making your own way, hustling and all that stuff. I don't believe in doing something if it's going to cost me more money and I'm not making anything off of it. And that's one of the things about, you know, I know the dominants, you know, they're the top of the food chain and stuff like that. But when you hear the media talk about them, or you hear about cops talking about them, that's not them. Okay, let's be point blank. That's not the way they are. And I always say it, it's always a few members that are causing all the problems. And getting back to what I don't understand is, get rid of them. Disassociate yourself with them, because you know what? If it was really about brotherhood, they wouldn't have put the club in the position in the first place because of their, you know, idiot moves, if you will. You know, I got to keep it clean because this segment's going over on YouTube, so we know how they are over there. But is that true brotherhood when they put the whole club in danger? Is the image actually worth it? Because you got to remember, a lot of these dominant clubs are writing off the image. And this is a true story. They're writing off the image of the stuff that happened in the 70s, 80s, and 90s when it was really bad. That's what they're writing off of. It's not like it's a whole new thing today. Yeah, you got, and another op-ed I did, yeah, you got a lot of bangers coming into the scene, and that's why you see these isolated events happening that we talk about in the news. So when somebody comes to me and say, hey, you know, can you do a motorcycle club protocol video? It's like, man, it's not the same. I don't even know hardly what it is anymore out there, because it changes so much, and it's not the same all over the country. Because when you are listening to these, and they're good channels, you know, I'm not trying to bash them or anything, but maybe a disclaimer or something, because if you're out on the West Coast, say, and you come here in the Midwest, and you're under the understanding that this is the way protocol is supposed to be because you were out west or you watched a video on it, they're going to knock the hell out of you here. Because, you know, a lot of the stuff that I hear on there is like, man, that wouldn't have happened here. No, it wouldn't have happened here. So I guess, I'd say put some disclaimers on, but more importantly, I would tell people, you got to remember this is entertainment, man. Yeah, there's not a lot of biker entertainment out there. We had Easy Risers, we had Biker Magazine, we had Outlaw Biker, but now you're fortunate with technology and stuff. You have entertainment shows, and that's exactly what these things are. Exactly. They're nothing more. Yes, you got opinions, you got the op-eds that we do, but you got to be careful. The only way you're going to learn anything again is to go out there and actually do it. If you don't, you're just looking, you're looking for your entertainment, and there's nothing wrong with learning subjects or learning different opinions. I think that's what makes everything go round and around. But if you're one of those types that, you believe everything about motorcycle clubs, or, they cannot do any wrong, I say you better open your freaking eyes, man. I don't like using the word motorcycle gang, even though it's in our articles. It's almost on every segment because we're reporting the news from the news sources, and you can't change that stuff. But the way I look at gangs is a lot different than probably you guys do, because as I was coming up, you just can read the book and you'll see it. But I don't think clubs are at the point where you can consider them that, because bangers, man, you're always out there hustling. You're always out there pushing something. You're always out there trying to make money. And that is not true of motorcycle club members, man. Most of these guys have, they're welders, they're mechanics, they're truck drivers. They're not out there doing a hustle. So that's why I never understood why you wanted to be associated with, say, these couple guys were out there pushing meth. And by the way, I don't care what club it is, if you're pushing meth, you're just nothing but a dog, and you have no life because you're making money off of freaking other people's misery. So you can go pound sand for all I care. But you got these guys that are making an honest living dealing with you guys, and you're, the guys that are pushing this stuff, and they claim that they're brothers. I never understood that. I never will. I never put up with it myself. In no freaking way in hell do I support any of that stuff. Just like I don't support, as I got older, I don't support all the violence and stuff, because I look at it as, you know what? We all freaking like the same crap. We all like partying. We all like motorcycle riding. We like dirt tracks. We like rallies. But when you throw the colors in the mix, next thing you know, everybody gets, their peckers hard, and let's see who's bigger than who. When all that does is hurt yourselves, and it hurts it hurts the image of what the biking community is really about. And then, clubs wonder why you have the no color policies, why you got law enforcement sitting at their clubhouse. It's because of what a few do. Or you start getting up in beefs, and I talked about this in Texas, man. What did you guys think was going to happen? Now, I know there's the argument because I put it forward with the cops knowing they should have kept it all apart. But what did you think's going to happen when 9 people were shot and killed? 4 or 5 of them, it said that the officers shot them. Well, we'll never know because it's never going to get that far. I think that's why they dropped all the charges. But now, after that, after 2015, you're seeing all this profiling go down. Oh, my rights this, my rights that. Well, you got to step back and think about the situation that happened and why it's happening, because they don't want another thing like that happening. It used to be where clubs handled their stuff off radar, but I guess it's not that way anymore. So, but hopefully that answers your questions on why we're not covering Motorcycle Club Protocol. It was, decent in the beginning, but we're fully biker news now, man. That is our wheelhouse. We got the #1 biker radio station on the net. Our sponsors, all that are real freaking cool. But that's kind of the line that I drawn is I wanted this year to get out there, cover rallies, new stuff, motorcycle reviews, the whole 9 yards. And I think that's far more interesting in motorcycle club protocol stuff. A lot more. There's only so much you can talk about it on a video or a segment, whatever you want to do. There's only so much you can talk about. After that, it becomes redundant and quite frankly boring. I don't know if, I only watch a few channels on YouTube. I'm not really big on it, but I couldn't see myself sitting there video after video. Okay, this is what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. And knowing, well, wait a second, man. You go out on the streets, a totally different thing than what they're saying. So it's like, okay, whatever, man. I want to focus our attention more on new stuff, and that's the way we're going. Yeah, I'll have opinion op-eds over on hooliganbiker.com as well as harleyliberty.com on motorcycle club stuff. But I'm looking from the outside and I got a different set of eyes where I say, that is pretty messed up, and I can try to put myself in other people's shoes to try to help better everything. That's our job, is to try to get the information out there and hopefully make a change. We're going to be doing a lot on, all these laws popping up in Virginia and all these other blue states. We're going to be doing a lot on that too, because that subject really affects bikers as well. It really does. It affects bikers, and people need to be kept up to speed on that type of stuff. So nothing but news, rally coverage, all that good stuff. If you guys want Motorcycle Club Protocol videos, go to the other channels, check them out. And, that's basically what I have to say on this, man. It just gets redundant. That's all I have to say. But don't forget to go over to motorcyclemadhouseradio.com. Listen to the #1 biker news podcast on the internet. Boy, do we get some numbers. I love it over there. Also, Facebook, get over there. And Instagram. I'm going to have mini videos on Instagram. So get over there and check it out. You'll like the Instagram. We're really going to start working on that. We haven't been working on our social media, which we should have, but I'm old and it was always harleyliberty.com, but that thing is just roaring. So get over there, get your daily biker news, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys later.